The wait is over. It finally arrived. All right, let's go use it.
Sweating balls. I literally haven't skated in like 3 years. Show's done it. I mean, the sell point for me, definitely with this camera, was just the stabilization. I mean, it's a game changer for the kind of stuff I want to do with it. What used to always do my head in with the GoPros before was just that, you know, like if you were snowboarding, following someone, you get that shake, that sort of shake, and it would just jello out. And now it's not there anymore. Now I know they started adding this Hypersmooth in on the 7 and the 8, and we're having amazing results. But I never quite was sold on it until I saw some of this 9 footage. And that's it. It's the Hypersmooth 3.0, baby. I love it. Okay. Jokes aside, what's good about this camera for skateboarding? Well, I'm no skater, so I don't really know, but it shoots super wide, super slow, and super smooth. Ticks all the boxes. What else do you want? Let's go get one.
All right, so one of the other features of the GoPro, which I know I'm gonna use like crazy, is the time warp feature. That's the Hyperlapse, whatever you wanna call it. I mean, I'm gonna use that all the time. What makes it really cool with the new GoPro is that with one touch of the screen, you can switch it off and go back to audio in real time, just like I'm doing right now. It's gonna be fantastic for a lot of the things I wanna do in productions I've got coming up. So anyway, let's just flip this thing around and go into time warp. So we'll see how that looks. Basically right now I'm just gonna go check the waves. I know it's gonna be absolutely terrible because of my towel. I was actually hoping to get a surf in today, but it's not gonna happen. But basically being able to go from time warp, you know, your hyperlapse, to just talking in real time with audio, and then right back to the time warp again. What an amazing feature. That's like a game changer for a camera of this size. I mean, for any kind of camera. How's that wind? Does the Hero 9 Black work for surfing? Of course it does. It's a GoPro. That's what they're for. They work great. Do I work for surfing? That's a whole nother question. But yeah, it's good fun. It works well. You get your nice slow motion. You've got a whole bunch of shooting modes, and it's smooth. And it's waterproof, so it's great. Yeah. Check it. Surfing. All right, let's go do something else. So you may be wondering, is the GoPro Hero 9 good for getting videos of your kids? Well, let's see. One of the other really cool features of the new GoPro is the scheduled capture. So you can just set it up, tell it when you want it to wake up and start recording a time lapse or a video or take a photo, etc. And it'll go ahead and do that. And I did this last night, set up for the sunrise. The sunrise wasn't all that interesting, but the camera worked just fine. And that's really awesome. It's so cool. Okay, so does the Hero Black 9 work well when you go snorkeling? Yeah, it works great. It's waterproof, it's sturdy, it's got tons of recording modes, and it's smooth as hell. So yeah, check that one. It's good for that. All right, let's go do something else. Okay, so let's break down the summary. We'll go quick and fast through this bit. Pros and cons, what's good, what's bad, any buyer's remorse, etc., all that kind of stuff. Okay. It's a GoPro. It does exactly what you expect a GoPro to do. It's robust, it's waterproof, it's an action camera, it's a go-anywhere camera, and now they've packed it in with a bunch of new features. What I do like about it is all the extra resolutions, the 5K. It's not saying I'm going to use overly too much, but having that 4K 60 frames and Hypersmooth and all the different options as well, fantastic. Even up to 240 frames in HD, brilliant. A lot of the new features I like in there is when you've got the Hyperlapse and being able to touch it and go right into regular time and back again. Brilliant. You don't have to worry about doing all that kind of work in post anymore. Makes life a lot easier. It's super smooth. The Hypersmooth really, really works. It doesn't jello out on the sides of the screen like a lot of the older tech did with stabilization. So I'm really, really impressed with that. You know, the screen on the front is great for vlogging. It's not saying I'm into that much vlogging, but if you are, that's a really huge feature for this camera. It's also great just for framing up the shots and just making sure that your shots are still framed as you want them on the fly. So really enjoy that front screen. It does the trick really well. Some people talk about the lag. I didn't really notice it because I don't use it. I'm not staring at the screen when I'm talking to the camera. So it probably does, but I'm not really paying attention. Having the drain on the side now so that the microphone, when it comes out of the water, will drain quicker and you'll get the sound quality up better. Fantastic as well. Little detractions from it. Look, the screen is a little bit janky, okay? It does get hard to navigate sometimes. Some of the ways the controls are set up in sub-menus where you have to press and hold things to get to the next sub-menu, not a big fan of that. I much prefer just to have it like it was in the older system, where you could just scroll down and go into your sub-menus or slide across and go through all your options there. I enjoyed that better, but that's the choice they went with. The replaceable lens is fantastic as well because you will scratch these lenses. More so than adding a mod, for me, being able to replace that lens is a huge, huge bonus feature there too. I love the way the new door opens on the battery compartment. Just pull it down and flick it open. And then again, to close it, it's just clicking and it goes like that, locks into place. Much better than the push the button slide combo thing that was happening before. I always felt that was a little bit damaging almost. It just didn't feel like it was working smoothly. So really impressed with that. And that's about it for what impresses me with the camera. I mean, it's a GoPro, like I said. The screen, like I said, is a little bit janky. Sometimes you're trying to work controls and it won't connect, or when you go to do a slide, it'll select an option. There's just so many buttons and touch features on that little screen that sometimes can be a bit hard to work accurately. It gets a little frustrating at times when you're going through the same routine 2 or 3 times just to get to one feature that you want. So that's not great. I have had it do a complete freeze up once in the last few days, where I had to get out of the water. I was surfing, release the battery and do the whole battery trick. US Air Force coming to play in with the video. Oh no. Oh yeah, no, it's US Air Force, but that's probably a general or something. It's one of the Learjets. Anyway, So yeah, so it has had a little freeze up here and there. I'm guessing it's a firmware issue, but I mean, I've had that with other GoPros in the past as well, so it wasn't unexpected. Otherwise, yeah, fantastic. Great little camera. Love it to death. Highly recommend it. No buyer's remorse. You're thinking about getting one. If it's your first GoPro, definitely. If you're upgrading from the 8, maybe think a little bit harder about it because the options aren't that much improved. They are improved quite a bit, but if you're not using it for certain things, you probably won't need to upgrade it. If you're coming from a 7, a 6, a 5, etc., then definitely it's worth the upgrade. Fantastic camera. That's my review. Please hit the subscribe button, like, comment, etc. That all helps me make money doing this, and we all love money. Otherwise, have yourself a great day and get yourself out there and show me what you're doing with your action camera. Happy shooting.